creative designers. Welcome again to my YouTube channel. In case you are new here, my name is Gift. And if you're an old subscriber, thank you so much for always tuning in. Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to be showing us how to do the lace placement technique. I've gotten a lot of messages from a lot of us asking me to do a video or tutorial around that particular topic. And that is why in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can do your lace placement using beaded lace or any other type of lace you can lay your hands on. For today's video, I'm going to be using this net lace fabric that came with this George, okay? Just for us to be able to achieve that. And by the way, my dress form is pregnant, as you can see. So I did it in order for it to mimic the body shape of my client so I can have a perfect fit. So if this is something you also want to learn, comment in the comment section and I'll do a video around that. So without further ado, let's jump straight into today's video. Welcome back, creative designers. Okay, so to start with, you want to get the design you want on your fabric. You want to first of all determine what type of design you want on the fabric. Okay, so you want to study the motifs you have on the lace fabric you're working with. Okay, like I said, this is a net fabric that came with the George and is meant for the upper bodies. Okay, so I'm here trying to identify which part of the motif and how I want it to be laid on the dress. Now, before we dive in, I need you to understand that for lace placement, you must have an already sewn dress. Okay, you must have been properly sewn. You fix the zipper and everything is in place. So you are just placing the lace on top of that. Okay, so for me, I want this lower part of this net fabric to be a little bit below the tummy. Okay, and here is the design I have initially, but I do not want my lace or the design to look this way at all. It's kind of give it this corset look, I mean the bust cup look, and I didn't really want that. Okay, so I'm just going to look for another means or another way I can place this lace fabric for me to be able to get the kind of design I'm going for. So you must have a design in mind. And I think I'm loving this. Okay, now I need you to also understand that when you are doing the lace placement technique, you have to be very, very patient. You don't want to rush it because at a point you have to pin and unpin, take out the fabric, look at what you have to be sure that that is exactly what you want. Like I said, I think I'm okay with this. I love the way the design is coming from the sleeve area all the way to the chest area to give me this kind of that shape around the bust area. And I also love the way it terminates around the waistline. Good. Next thing you want to use is your pin. Okay, you want to pin down, so you need a lot of pins for this technique. You need a lot and a lot of pins for this technique. Another thing to put in mind or to put in place is to make sure that whatever design you're going for is symmetrical. Like on both sides, you want to make sure that all the things you're placing or the way you're placing your motif is actually symmetrical. So I'm just going to go ahead and pin down that part as well. Okay, so I'll just keep checking to see if the design I have is, beautiful, if I love what I'm seeing, if they are equal on both sides. This is very important. If they are not, please make sure you, you know, you'd fix it. Okay, make sure they are symmetrical, make sure you are symmetrical. So at this point, I think I love what I have already. I love it. I love the design and it's looking all beautiful. Okay, so on the chest area, I'm just going to pin that down so that we can continue with the other part of this project. Good. So now that you have pinned down the chest line, the next thing you want to do is to stretch out. Now, when you are doing your lace placement, especially for the upper part of your dress or your outfit, make sure the lace is taking the natural shape or silhouette of your dress form or the bodice. This is very important as you don't want to have any part of the lace or any part of the fabric looking all rumpled or, you just want it to look straightened. You want it to take the natural shape or silhouette of your dress form. Okay, so I'm just going to pin that down. So in draping or in lace placement technique, you do a lot of stretching, a lot of pinning, a lot of stretching, and a lot of pinning. So now I've pinned the underbust line down. The next thing I'm going to do is to drag. Please do not over drag so you don't get your fabric torn, okay? Do not over drag. Okay, so I'm just going to pin down the bust point as well, the bust area. You just want to keep everything in place so that they don't shift or move as you're dragging or readjusting. Okay, you want to pin down. So that was why I said you need a lot and a lot and a lot of pins. Good. So I'll just keep pinning down. I'll just keep pinning down so we can go to the next stage. So creative designers, you can see I've already pinned that part down. I'm trying to drag the net or the lace out. Drag it out, okay? Drag it so that it can, stretch it rather, not drag. Stretch it out so that you don't have any rumple anywhere. You don't have any rumpled area at all. Make sure it is well stretched out, okay? You can pin and repin, you can unpin, you can remove the pin, check out what you have. Okay, so like I said, I want the lower design of this lace to be a little bit below the tummy area, okay? Remember my dress form is looking pregnant. Okay, it has this bump, so I want the lower part of the lace to be a little bit below the natural tummy. Okay, so as you can see, I said stretch out and make sure it follows the natural shape, the natural silhouette of your dress form. The under bust area is very important to pin that part down, especially if you're working with the upper bodies. Now note, this is also the same technique you will use when you are working with the lower bodies, that is the skirt area. Maybe you're working with a marmite skirt or a straight skirt. This is also the same technique. Just place the lace, make sure it follows the natural shape of your skirt, and then you can cut out. But now I'm just still dragging out because of course we need this to be fitted but not too tight. Okay, it has to be fitted, it has to be fitted. Okay, so I'll just pin down the waist area. Can you see? I'll keep pinning that down, I'll keep dragging down. Can you see? I'll keep stretching. I keep using the word drag. No, stretch. Just stretch, please don't drag. Okay, so I'll pin down the waist area. Can you see? So that I can get a clean finishing around the waistline, I mean around the tummy line. Okay, so I'll pin that down and then we'll continue. Okay, creative designers, you can see I'm stretching this out. Please, it's very important for you to stretch it out. Okay, so I think I've gotten the exact point where I want the lower applique to be. That design, I want it to be a little bit below the tummy. Now, the reason why I want it to look this way is such that when she wears this, it will look like a blouse. Okay, it will look as if she has this blouse at the top, not knowing that it's actually a gown. Okay, not knowing that it's actually a dress. So I want that design to be a little bit below the tummy area, just like so. So I'll pin that down. I'll keep pinning, making sure that I have everything in place, just like you see me do in the video. So creative designers, if at this point you have not subscribed, please do well to hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share this video, and also turn on your notification bell. So guys, at this point I was done pinning everything down. Everything is in place, looking all beautiful, and now it's time for us to cut out the appliques. Okay, so we want to cut out the net, the lace now. Now, on the upper part, you want to leave half of an inch when cutting. Do not cut directly on where you pinned. Go up by about half of an inch or 0.75 of an inch at the upper part. So I'm just going to show you what I mean by that. Okay, now when you are draping the upper bodies as well, or when you are placing your lace on the upper bodies, you might end up wasting some fabric. So let me tell you that in advance. Okay, based on the design you are going for. So I'll just keep cutting that out. I'll cut that out and then I'll leave about half of an inch at the upper part because that is exactly what you'll be using by the time you want to hand tack. Okay, so I'll do that now and then I'll show you what to do next. So I'm just repinning the sides just so I can have a smooth finishing at that part. Now we are at the back area and this is what we have. I've done one part, so I'm left with the other side. So I'll just show you the same technique you use in draping or placing the lace on the the front part. That is also the same technique you're going to use for the back part, okay? So I'll just cut through that part. I'll cut through this part because I do not want to have a lot of fabric. I do not want to work on a lot of fabric, okay? So I can be able to manipulate the ones I really need, okay? So I'll cut that out and then we can continue. So now, creative designers, this is the fabric I'll be working with for the other parts of the back. As you can see, I've already draped the other side, so I'm left with this part. Now, when you are doing this as well, your design is very important. They have to be symmetrical. Remember, there is a zipper going all the way from the midpoint all the way to the hip line. So you want to make sure that you have symmetrical design on both sides. You want to make sure that the design you have on this part is matching up with the design you have on the other side. Okay, so like I said, the same technique, you want to drag, you want to stretch out, you want to make sure that they are properly pinned down so that you don't make mistake. You also want to pin down the underarm or the armhole area. You want to cut out and pin down. Okay, now there are two ways to go about this. You could cut exactly on the side seam and then place the ones you want to use on the back, or you can place it all the way from the front to the back. Whichever way you want to do is totally fine. You can cut through the sides and then you have different pieces for both the side front, the front, the side back all the way to the center back, or you can take it all the way from the front area to the back. Okay, so I've pinned that side down and then I'm working on this other side. Now, talking about cutting through the side seam, I have a video already on in my channel where I showed us how to do this. If you want to work with just separate pieces, the front, the back, and everything with before sewing, you can actually do that. So now I'm just going to unpin all of this and show you exactly how I was able to achieve it, because I noticed that that part of the video was cut out while I was recording. So I'll just do this again so you can understand. Now, like I said, make sure the designs you have on both sides are the same. This is very, very, very important. Very, very important. You see, I'm iterating on that. It's very, very important. Okay, so I'm just going to stretch out the lace fabric just like so. And then I'll pin down, making sure that I don't have any wrinkle or rumple whatsoever. Okay. So now I'll cut out the excess I have on this part as well, because I don't want a lot of fabric. I don't want to work with a lot of fabric, just like half of an inch in. I just want to tuck in about half of an inch, okay? So I'll pin that side down. So what you want to do is when you get to the zipper area, you tuck in like about 0.5 inch or 0.75 inch. After stretching out, you tuck it in and then you pin down such that it will be so invisible. You don't want anybody to see that something is happening there, right? So you will tuck it in at that part. Just look at what I'm doing. I'll show you exactly what I mean. So when you get to the zipper area, you tuck some part in and then you pin down. Now on the waistline, I'm just trying to hold the fabric in place. I want to hold them in place using my pin. Sorry, I had to work with my dress phone. It was just moving around. Okay. So you pin that part down, you pin down, making sure that you have your fabric in place. Please, this is very important. So on this center back line, can you see on the center area, you tuck it in this way. Can you see what I just did? You tuck it in. Make sure you tuck that part in. Yes, that is how you get a clean finishing. In fact, that is the juicy part of this video. And that is how you achieve a clean finishing. So you keep tucking in. When you tuck in, you pin down. Okay, each time you tuck in, you pin down. Can you see? Each time you tuck it in, then you pin down. I will also continue that. I will continue with that on the lower part of the back. So on the center back area, you can see I'm repinning, I'm removing some of the pins because I want to get a clean finishing on that lower part. So you tuck in such that it's very close to your zipper, but not exactly on your zipper teeth. Okay? Make sure it is very close to zipper line, but not exactly on your zipper teeth. Okay? So I'm just going to pin that down as well. Can you see? I'll pin everything down, and then at the end of the day, this is what we have. Can you see? I'm so excited because at this point, this looks like a very big achievement. Okay, so this is what the back part looks like. Can you see? Make sure they are symmetrical. At the upper part, you want to leave about half of an inch, then you tuck in. That was the same thing we did for the front, right? So what we are literally doing is to tuck in. You are tucking the part in. Can you see? So let me just show you what the front part looks like. Can you see? This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. I'm very excited. So this is what the front part looks like. Please don't mind my dress form. It keeps shaking and I don't know why. So this is what the front part looks like. You can see the design at the front looking all beautiful, well laid. So you want to work with a lot of pin. You want to pin down every part of this lace on your dress. On your dress, you want to pin down. You can see the sleeves looking all beautiful. You can see everything is looking so beautiful, and I love it. Okay, so now you also want to make sure that everything looks well pinned. I mean, you want to pin down. It's very important. I cannot talk about this enough. Please, you need a lot of pins when working with something like this. And this is what the back looks like. Don't mind my dress form, please. Please don't mind that dress form. But now this is what the back part looks like. Can you see the zipper area? It's looking like we actually sewed this lace pattern on this fabric of which we are going to hand tack. Can you see that the design are matching up? That is exactly what I'm talking about. Make sure the designs match up. Make sure they match up because that is the beauty of lace placement. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to tuck in the excess that you have at the upper part. Remember I said you're going to leave half of an inch. Okay, so you're going to tuck that in because that is how you're going to be stitching down. You can see the designs are matching up. Everything is looking all well placed, and wow, I'm so excited. So creative designers, this brings us to the end of this video, and in my next video I'm going to be showing you how you'll be hand tacking all of this together. See you in my next video. Bye.